Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 17. We are on episode 13, y'all. It's been a long season. It has been a long season, but we are still here this week because they got us exploring intimacy. These people don't even like each other, and we exploring intimacy. Alrighty then, we'll flow with it if that's what you want to do, Married at First Sight. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling with the season. And it's so interesting because this week we got a little bit more. We got another, a little outtake or some information on Chloe and Michael. I guess they're trying to get us all excited for their wedding. Are you excited? Nah, not me. I'm not excited. And I don't even know if I would want these couples at my wedding, these badass marriages coming to my wedding. I'd be like, y'all can stay home. I wonder if Chloe believes something is going on. Why? Because normally for the wedding, you meet the other girls. You go to the bachelorette party. I wonder what they told her why she ain't got no bachelorette party. I wonder if they told her, I don't know, the weather is too bad. I don't know what they told her, but she really seems like she's unsuspecting of what's going on. So hopefully it ain't going to be too much of a problem for her once she sees her new husband. And he's still walking around here with this crown on. Why, Michael? Why? It's not even a joke at this time to be still walking around with a crown on given to you by a woman that dumped you at the altar and now you're supposed to get remarried. He talking about, I just wanted to take it for one more spin around the block. What for? What's the purpose of that? I don't know. That's kind of telling me a little something about Michael, but I ain't going to get into it. I ain't going to judge him off of just one thing, but I don't know why he's still wearing that crown. It was kind of weird to me. But he says he's ready to go. Chloe says she's ready to go. So I guess maybe the next episode we're going to actually see the wedding. Maybe when she throws the bouquet, Emily can catch it. Maybe when she throws the bouquet, Emily and Becca can run over there and try to catch it and get them a new husband. Talking about husbands, let me tell you something, y'all. This season, if y'all can remember, I don't want to trigger none of y'all with no mental health crisis. I don't want to trigger y'all, but I want you to think back now with Orion. And let me tell you something. Orion ain't looking that bad no more. When you go out, when you first get to some little club, like when you was single or whatever, and you're like, oh man, there ain't no good looking men here tonight. But you know what? I'm going to have fun anyway. I really don't see nobody that I think is good looking, but that's okay. I'm going to have fun and dance, have fun with my girls. And then by the end of the night, you so tired and had so many drinks, the guy who looked ugly in the beginning starting to look good again. That's Orion. Let me tell you something. Orion ain't looking that bad no more because at least Orion put us out our misery. At least Orion pulled the plug, had the decency, the courtesy, the kindness in his heart to put us out of our misery. But yet, on the other hand, we got a Brennan over here where we might need to do an intervention and go save Emily because I don't know what he's doing behind closed doors. There need to be an intervention over there in that house. They need to be, although them cameras running and rolling, we need to see some footage. We need to see some interior footage of that house of what's really going on because I'm a bit afraid for Emily. In fact, Emily, Brennan, and Emily, Austin, and Michael are all on the after party, y'all. I'm going to do a video on it, but I'm going to have to do it tomorrow because this video is going to probably end up being long. But I'm going to do a video tomorrow. And let me tell you, it's a doozy. Emily was off the chain, y'all. Emily was off the train. She was damn near cussing out Keisha Pulliam, but Keisha Pulliam had to snatch her together. I'm telling you, Keisha Pulliam almost pulled that Chia Pet weave out Emily's hair on the after party. Emily has gotten beside herself on the after party, but Keisha Pulliam snatched her up real quick. I don't know what it is about these black women this season between Dr. Pia and Keisha Pulliam. They have decided they're going to have to get some of these people together. They're going to have to get some of these people together. But come back tomorrow for sure because I'm definitely going to be doing a recap on that after party video. But the only part that we saw with Cameron was going off having his heart procedure for his fibrillation, his heart flutters, arrhythmia, whatever you call it. I think that's what it's called. And then he said he ain't interested in calling Claire to be there. He don't want Claire there. Cameron is kind of like I've been telling people. He's kind of an independent loner on his own, on his own. He's that type of person where he's just naturally going to do things on his own. And if you're going to be in the life of Cameron, you're almost going to have to darn near get him used to you being around and kind of inserting yourself into his life. I know it ain't gonna work between him and Claire, but Claire ain't the woman to do that because I don't really think Claire has a real kind heart herself. She's trying to pretend like she does right now, but the reason why I know Claire isn't because I remember when they was in that honeymoon, and remember Cameron had to go to the hospital because I think he had an ear infection or something, and they all in a foreign country in Mexico, and this is before supposedly Claire was still, I guess, interested in him according to her. She didn't even offer to go to the hospital with her doggone husband. Sure, Cameron might have said, that's okay, I'll go by myself. But any wife worth they salt would know, no, I'm going to go with you because I'm concerned about you and I want to just be there for you to give you support. That's what kind people do. Even when independent loners say, that's okay, I'm going to go to this strange hospital all by myself in this foreign country all by myself. You can go and sit by the bar and sip on some Reposado tequila. And I'm going to go all by myself. A kind-hearted person, a giving person, a caring wife would say, absolutely not. You're my husband. This is what our life is about, me supporting you, and I'm going to go with you. And in fact, I would feel worse sitting here sipping on Reposado tequila and not being with you. That's how you would insert your life with Cameron, and you would have gone to the hospital with Cameron. But because Claire ain't really no kind-hearted person, it don't take much to push her away. So just like now when Cameron said, no, I'm not going to tell Claire because I don't want her there anyway. And then Claire tried to tell the story where, yeah, he told me he didn't want me there because he knows that I worried. Girl, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be worried and show up. If all of us only showed up for our friends when we weren't worried, we probably would never show up. And that's what you do for people. You show up scared, you show up worried, you show up a lot of things, and you hold it together and you try to be a support to those people. But when you don't really want to do nothing, you be like, yeah, you're right. That's probably right. I probably shouldn't come. That's Claire. Soon as Cameron come up with any reason to do something on his own, Claire gonna be like, yeah, that sounds good. I don't want to go anyway. Claire always talking about she cares so much about Cameron and, he means so much to her. When, where, how? Claire, what are you talking about? You care so much about Cameron. When did you start caring so much? When did he become your best friend? When did any of this happen? And if this is all true, why you can't never show up for your man when he going into the hospital? Claire be lying. Claire's a bunch of lip service. Claire know how to say all the right things, but she don't know how to do the right thing. You heard me? You heard me about the people who know all the right words to say, but don't know how to do it. The people be talking about, I'll pray for you, but never pray for you. When they said, I'll pray for you, that was the prayer. That's Claire. Claire know what to say to make herself look good, but she don't follow through on none of that. I don't see Claire as no nurturing and kind-hearted woman. Please. I don't believe it. But this episode, we spent a lot of time on Becca Austin because we got to get to the bottom of this no intimacy thing. What the heck is going on, Austin? We've had a whole lot of theories running around out here. Does he like her? Does he not like her? Is he faking it? Is he lying? Is he like one of all these other men out here lying all season long, trying to pretend like he really likes Becca, but he don't, and he's just using the religion as an excuse? Well, he definitely been lying. He been lying, but we done figured out he might be lying about something completely and none of us was even really thinking about. Maybe a little bit we was thinking about it in the back of our head, but we didn't want to say it. But when Austin told Becca he's into pegging, he wants to be pegged in the bedroom sexually, I was like, what the heck? I mean, I thought I knew what pegging was. Y'all know I'm old. I'm an old auntie. And I had to look it up. I had to really look it up to make sure what I thought he was saying was what he was saying. And he sat there and told Becca that, will you peg me? And even Becca had to look at him a little bit sideways. Becca was running around talking about she's sex positive, meaning she down for anything. She down for whatever makes her man happy, until he said, I like to be pegged. And she was like, what? I got to strap on a dildo? I got to strap on a dildo? What are you talking about? I got to strap on a dildo and poke you from behind? This is what heterosexual sex looks like now, y'all. Let me tell you, I'm old. Back in the day, absolutely not. I would be uncomfortable. I'm going to tell y'all right now, call me a prude, call me an old woman, call me stuck in the 80s, or call me whatever you want to call me. I'm uncomfortable. I'm not doing it. I said who's going to be the one that's going to say, I was asking who's going to be the one that says no on decision day. And I told you I was starting to come to the point of view that I don't think it's just going to be Austin that says no. I'm back on that. I think Becca might even say no. Does Becca really want to do this? Does Becca really want to be doing that in the bedroom? I don't think so. I don't believe it. Who else knows what Austin is into? He's over here talking about pegging, and next thing you know, he's talking about sexy figurines. What else? What other kind of role playing is he into? He's over there digging in the dirt, talking about is the dirt lubricant. He's talking about this is what I like to do in bed. What is this? What is this, Austin? He was talking about his little moves when he was, doing the little sex terranium. He's like, yeah, this is something I like to do. What is that? What part of the body does that stimulate? I don't know what the hell Austin is talking about. Maybe it is a good thing he didn't want to have sex. Becca, you might be getting lucky. You might want to count your blessings, because between the pegging, between the rolling around in the dirt and talking about it's going to be some lubricant, this thing over here, nothing about this sounds exciting at all. So maybe you ought to be glad that he don't want to have sex with you, because now we figure out it may not even be you, Becca, that he don't want to have sex with. It's your equipment. It's your body parts. It's the parts that God gave you. He ain't interested. He's not interested. Even when they was playing that little game and they asked Austin, and she asked Austin, what things do you like about my body the most? He said her pink hair. Pink hair. What, you want to wear it? You want to put it on your head? Are you Bruce Jenner? Are you Bruce Jenner? Because all he said was your pink hair and your smile and your boobs. That sounds like Bruce Jenner. Put on a wig, get some boobs, and Austin's going to be just fine. Ugh. This is ridiculous. This whole season is just full of a bunch of stuff that I really, really just don't understand. He was there talking about, in marriage and everything. I think that a good time to have sex is every day or every other day. Does that sound good to you? And Becca's over there like, yeah, that sounds good. Girl, you better ask them how, when, where, with whom. You better ask more questions, because just the idea of having sex, you can no longer believe it's going to be some basic Caucasian sex. Remember Jamie and Elizabeth from seasons before? She goes, basic Caucasian sex. I mean, Becca better make sure, is this basic Caucasian sex, or is this pegging, rolling around the dirt, using dirt as a lubricant, and then doing this in the bedroom? You better ask some clarifying questions, Becca. No wonder Austin wasn't concerned about a Becca surgery. Remember when Becca was having all these surgeries and like, dang, isn't that going to interrupt the sex? And we were like, I guess Austin don't care about it. That's right. Austin don't care nothing about that lady part. He could care less if you got ovaries, a vagina, eggs, clitoris. He don't care nothing about it. As long as you can bend over and he can bend over and you can do it from behind, he gonna be just fine. He don't care about none of them lady parts. No wonder he didn't care about that surgery, because he ain't interested in it anyway. He said he was nervous when Dr. P was coming over to talk about sex. No wonder, because he had a secret. He had a secret. And then when Dr. P came, he didn't really even talk about his real sexual preferences. He was over there talking about Dr. P was like, what happened with the oral sex? That's what we was talking about earlier. We had a lot of conversation about it. Why didn't it go nowhere? Because she didn't have no dildo. She didn't have no dildo. And then Becca didn't even bring it up. Becca should have brought it up. Becca should have brought up the reason it ain't going nowhere, because I done found out I got the wrong lady parts down there, and I don't have the right equipment for what Austin really wants to be doing out here in these streets. I've come unprepared. Becca said she ain't never been in a relationship that moves this slow. She's starting to feel undesired. You good. You got the right feeling. You got the right feeling. Undesired. He don't desire you. And now we know the real reason why. We all over here wondering what the real reason for, and who knew in the end that it was all about anal penetration. Oh, good Lord, Austin. No wonder he's a roommate with that woman. Everybody was wondering about that woman that's his roommate. Why Austin don't like that woman? Why was there never no romance over there? Once again, the wrong parts. The wrong parts. Now he's talking about he's so nervous that we talking about it so much. We talking about sex so much. It's starting to make me nervous. This don't make people nervous who really want to have sex. Let me tell you something. This little exercise they got them doing, running around the house, with a blindfold on, and then I got to reveal a sexual secret. No, let me give you a better assignment. I'm going to be better than Dr. Pia. I want both of you to strip down absolutely naked. Forget about talking about having sex. I want you to strip down absolutely naked, Becca. I want the two of you in the daylight with the lights on. I want you to stand in front of Austin. I want him to get naked completely in front of you. And I want you two to look at each other's naked bodies. And if he does not get an erection for you, Becca, he don't want you. Then what I want you to do, Becca, is I want you to run over out your little chest closet. I want you to get a dildo. I want you to strap it on. If in fact, once he straps it on, he starts to get an erection, you got your answer. Forget all this psychological babble bullshit from Dr. Pia with her PhD. I ain't got no PhD in the streets. I got a PhD with my husband. And let me tell you something. It don't take much to get men who are attracted to you interested in you. All you got to do is bend over and pick up a piece of paper accidentally and rub up against him. He ready to go. He ready to go. Sometimes you be hiding from your man because he's ready to go all the time. You don't need all this. You do not need all this. Becca said she was excited as a Jew to get this basket. Here we go again. Becca talking about religion. Why do we keep having to bring up religion? And I thought you weren't a Jew anymore. I thought you were agnostic. All of a sudden now, this is exciting for a Jew. Becca got problems with religion. She got problems with religion. She brings it up so often. How's she relating a sex basket to being Jewish? That don't even make no sense. And then she's talking about, did you get a vibrator in your Easter basket? Again, Becca? You're still equating everything to sex from your Judaism or your, being agnostic to now you're talking about vibrators in an Easter basket because he's Christian? Ugh. Go figure out your religious preferences and beliefs, Becca. Go figure it out because we're tired of listening to it. We're tired of listening to your confusion. Then they start sharing these little intimate secrets. Austin was like, one of my intimate secrets is that my feet are ticklish. So then he said, so I like you to stick your big toe in my anal. I'm just kidding. I made that up. I sure did because now that he done told me what he likes, my mind just goes crazy. The minute he started talking about his feet are ticklish, I'd be like, what? So you want me to stick my big toe in your rear end too? That's all I can think about. I can't unsee it, y'all. I can't unsee it. He said he wants Becca to talk dirty to him. How? I bend over. Let me stick this big old... Let me stop before my video gets censored. Then he decides he's going to do something real romantic. He's going to put candles and flowers out over the bedroom. But like I told y'all in the after party, Emily was on one and Emily put him on complete blast in the after party. She put him on complete blast, basically saying all that stuff was fake, that it wasn't even Austin at all that did all them flowers and candles. In fact, when he was like, see how I arranged the candles to be in the form of boobs because I like your boobs. When I look at that little arrangement of the candles, to be honest with you, it didn't look nothing like boobs. In fact, even Becca said, I don't know, it don't look like no boobs, but you know what it did look like? You know what it did look like? It looked like a penis and two testicles. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. If I'm lying, I ain't breathing, and I'm certainly breathing. I ain't lying. They didn't look nothing like boobs. It looked like a penis in the middle, and then it looked like two small candles that could have been the testicles. I'm done with Austin. Austin has become the biggest liar, period, up in here. Period. The biggest liar. Everybody else I knew was lying on here, making up stuff. And I kept saying, who's going to be the biggest liar? The biggest liar's got to be Austin. We still wondering why all these women are running around wearing pink all the time. We really still wondering why everyone is wearing pink all the time. Is it for Becca's pink hair? Is it for... Barbie week? Everybody has had a lot of theories But let me tell you something. Maybe it is for the pink hair of Becca, because Becca of everybody on this show, she got duped the most. She got duped the most because not only does her man not even want her man don't even want her gender. That's the biggest dupe of all. Everybody was over here worrying about Orion, and come to find out who we should have been really worried about was Austin Bruce Jenner. They want to have some intimacy. You a photographer. Start taking some naked pictures of each other. See how he likes that. See what kind of poses he does for the camera. Break out that camera, Becca. You really want to know if he's interested in you, if he finds your body attractive, if he really likes you. Make him open his eyes. Don't let him kiss you with his eyes closed. Make him open up his eyes. Emily spilled the tea. They tried to pretend like, Austin tried to pretend like he shut that door and they got busy afterward. Emily said, then nothing happened. Emily spilled the tea on Austin completely and said he did all that for the camera. When them cameras went down and them doors closed, didn't nothing happen. Nothing. He talking about he likes having sex in public on the balcony. Yeah, so he can bend over on the balcony. I told y'all I can't unsee it. I got plenty of this in me. That's right. He likes sex on the balcony so he can bend over on the balcony and you can be up there with your little dildo and do your little peggers on him. I'm done with Austin. Bye, Austin. Bye, Austin. I am done with you. You've become the biggest liar of this whole season in my book. The biggest liar. Like I told y'all, I'm back on. Ryan might be my favorite. At least Orion was honest to Lauren. At least he was honest. I've always told y'all that I'd rather the hard truth and hurt my feelings than someone sit up and lie to me and drag me along. And let me tell you, for Austin do what he's doing, lying to Becca this whole time, trying to act like he's the nice guy. No, he's the meanest of them all. He's the meanest of them all. And talking about mean, last week we was giving the mean category over there to Brennan. He is mean. He is mean. And like I said on the after party, Emily's spilling some tea. She's darn near in tears. She's scared of this man. He obviously is a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's one way. He ain't even really Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because he's mean in front of the camera too. But he just gets even worse behind the camera. He must turn into the Hulk. Emily over there running around talking about he be throwing stuff in the house and everything. Brennan needs therapy. Brennan needs an intervention. Brennan needs to be removed. That's what needs to happen. I'm now starting to question this broken wrist. That's what I'm starting to do. I'm starting to question whether or not this broken wrist really did come from Emily falling down the shower drunk. Is that really the way it happened? Is that really the way it happened? I'm going to need a professional evaluation and conversation with Emily. I really do want, because I'm starting to believe maybe it may not be true that that's the way that she broke her wrist. Brendan said he woke up refreshed. He said last night I was upset about what we talked about, but this morning I'm ready to reset and start all over again. What? That's just how abusive people be acting. They sit up there and do all that dirt, say mean stuff, do mean stuff. And then the next day after they got a good night's sleep, they be like, well, what happened? Let's just move on. Let's get past it. What? Brendan got an issue. They both got daddy issues. Remember last week I was telling you that I really do believe that Brennan has a horrible relationship with his father. And it was further confirmed this episode. Yes, I confirmed it even more for myself. I don't need to confirm it for y'all, but I confirmed it for myself because he started talking about who his mentor was, and it was his best friend's father. What, your own father wasn't no mentor for you? Nah, he didn't like his daddy. He didn't spend no time with his daddy. He don't look up to his daddy for nothing. Even that little letter he wrote to himself, his childhood letter, he was saying, his best friend's father was his mentor. And then he said his parents had a strange way of showing him that they loved him. He didn't feel loved as no child. Talking about a strange way. A strange way means no way. When somebody says you have a strange way of showing me you love me, that means I didn't feel loved. Not only was it strange, it was so strange I didn't recognize it. That's what he's saying. Your way of showing me that you love me, Daddy, was so strange that I didn't even recognize it. Which means I didn't feel loved, which means you ain't my hero, you ain't nothing, you ain't my mentor. I don't look up to you. I'd rather go on over here to a whole nother household and find me somebody that I can admire. Then he started talking about he had to grow up too fast. Why? Why you got to grow up too fast if you got a whole house with a daddy and a mama who should be taking care of everything for you as a child? People who grow up fast are people who typically have to fulfill roles because those roles are missing, like with either a father or a mother. Oh, I had to grow up fast because I had to take care of my siblings. I had to grow up fast because I had to help provide for the family. I had to grow up fast because there was no adult to be in the room, in the space to take care of these adult things. And so I had to grow up fast to be able to take care of some of these adult things. You had a mama and daddy in the house, Brennan, but you didn't want to be nowhere around. You wanted to be up under the daddy of someone else. You didn't feel loved. It was strange. And you had to grow up fast because your daddy probably was in a drunken stupor. Somebody told me I better put up a disclaimer about this is for entertainment, allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know nothing about his daddy. I don't know his daddy whatsoever. Like I told my viewer, this entertainment, this is my opinion only. I ain't CNN. I ain't reporting no big news. I'm reporting my opinion, period. And talk about triggered. Emily's over here triggered too with her daddy. Every time Emily turns around, she telling some story about how she don't like her daddy. My daddy pushed me too much. I didn't even like playing soccer that much. It was not fun for me. I get it. I get it, Emily. And now I understand why you don't speak up to Brennan either, because you didn't speak up to your daddy. So you just go around and say yes, but deep down inside, you don't want to do none of it. That's the same thing she doing to Brennan. Yes, Brennan. But then when she get a little protection from Dr. Pia, then she start talking about, no, I don't want to do none of that. And then Brennan over there, he all upset. He's like, wait a minute, we had an agreement. This is what we talked about. Now you sit in front of Dr. Pia telling a whole different story. But Brennan, what you don't understand is she never wanted to go along with it in the first place. She was scared. She was scared of you, just like she's scared of her daddy. She was scared to speak up to her daddy and tell her daddy she didn't want to play that damn soccer no more. And she's scared to speak up to you too. But in her real feelings now, when Dr. Pia is over here, she letting out because she feels a little bit of safety with Dr. Pia. And now she can talk back to you now. Probably just like she did with her daddy. She didn't tell her daddy no. She didn't talk back to her daddy. She sat there, agreed, and did it and did whatever she wanted to. But secretly, she was mad. Secretly, she was mad at her daddy. Maybe that's why she done gone out in these streets as an older daughter, decides she gonna take her power back in terms of her body, and now she gonna do whatever the hell she want to do. You know, a lot of people express their power. Women do because of they use their body to express their power. Maybe Emily felt like she didn't have a voice so much growing up. She could never speak up to say what she wanted to do. Now when she's out here in the real world as an adult, she's overcompensated for it, and now she's using her body as this sort of power move out in society to be able to prove not only to herself that she can do whatever the hell she wants to do. Sometimes when you've been so oppressed with your feelings and your thoughts and your freedoms, that when you get a little bit of freedom, you go the whole other way. You over abuse your freedoms and you don't realize that you're not really making good decisions. You're just making decisions based on you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Maybe that's what this has to go on, because it's quite obvious. It's quite obvious that Emily got some daddy issues, because it's playing out a lot in her conversation. It played out a lot in that letter she wrote to herself. And to be honest with you, she's doing Brennan, lip service to Brennan, saying yes to Brennan, just like she probably did with her daddy. Just like Emily be over there rolling her eyes at Brennan when Brennan be telling her what to do and what he wants her to do. She don't really want to do it, but she be over there going like this. That's probably what she did to her daddy, but she went on right over there and played that soccer. That's what she did. She didn't speak up. Didn't nobody speak up for her. I guess Emily's mother didn't let her say no to her daddy. She said she was at soccer practice every single weekend. She was in a darn near semi-pro league. She was real good at it, but she didn't enjoy 1 minute of it. And now she's sitting over here in a marriage doing everything her husband wants and not enjoying 1 minute of that either. She need to go to some type of therapy and also some type of victim survivor type of clinic or something. Emily got some type of emotional, mental abuse that she's dealing with from her childhood. She needs help, y'all. She needs help. Brennan talking about he wants to do better. He wants to improve his communication. He wants to, not be so mean to Emily, because he says he believes Emily is one of the nicest, caring persons in the whole wide world. I don't believe it. That's a lie. No, you don't. So you mean to tell me one of the people who you think are the nicest, most caring, all these glowing words you have for Emily, This is how you treat them. This is how you treat people who you really admire. Good Lord, don't nobody want to be the enemy of Brennan. You better never become the enemy of Brennan, because if this is the way he treats people he admires, shoot. If he don't like you, you better get out the way. Even his best friend had to call him on his bullshit. Said, man, you've been like this your whole life. This don't have nothing to do with Emily. This is who you are. You trying to blame it on Emily, but it's you. I've been friends with you forever. Remember, I'm a man that when you admire my daddy, I've been knowing you for a long time. You've been this way a long time. It don't have nothing to do with Emily. It's your own shit. Your own shit. Even his friend said, you've been like this, Brennan. Anytime you get something that you get stuck on, he says you get stuck on it, then it trumps all the good things about you. Brennan got stuck on the fact that Emily likes one night stands. And just like his friend said, he ain't been able to get over it. He ain't been able to get over it since day one. The minute he heard that, he went so far deep in the hole. But the truth of the matter is, he's like this anyway. He's like it anyway. So it really wouldn't matter what Emily would have come with. It could have been the one night stand. It could have been something completely different, because now we know. We find out from the friend himself that this is just what Brennan likes to do. He likes to find out shit about you that's bad, and then he likes to gnaw on it and chew on it, and he never wants to look at none of your good parts. He wants to just stay stuck on the bad parts. Maybe the same way his daddy treated him. His friend tried to get him some good advice. Brennan was talking about, I'm going to try to go to dinner with her and this. His friend was like, dinner? I go to dinner with my friend. Can't you be flirtatious? Can't you do something different that's more romantic? Even his friend was trying to give him some tips. Nah, friend. This ain't going nowhere. Nowhere at all. Shoot, when Emily was talking about her daddy, talking about how her daddy pushed her so much and how involved he was in her life, Brennan was over there getting jealous. Emily was over there talking about that she didn't like the over involvement of her dad pushing her, her dad telling her what to do, her dad trying to make her better and putting all that pressure on her. But all Brennan saw was, dang, you should be happy your daddy was pushing you. Maybe if my daddy had pushed me, I would have been something better too. He was over there getting jealous at Emily's story. Emily was talking about her story like she hated her story. It was a bad story. And Brennan was over there saying, dang, I wish I did have a father that was into me like that was pushing me and guiding me. I had to go over here and get me another mentor because my daddy didn't give a damn about me. He was too busy drinking tequila. Woo! But when Dr. Pia came back, you know Brennan was going to have a problem with Dr. Pia, because Brennan don't like Dr. Pia. Brennan does not like a woman who stands up to him. Period, point blank. It don't matter who she is, because you know what? That mama his probably never slept to that daddy, and that's just the way he wants to keep it too in his own marriage. And Dr. Pia, let me tell you, she challenges Brennan too much. Brennan's like, why are we even talking about this? Why are we going backwards? It ain't really going backwards, because the answer you got originally from Emily was a lie. When she originally said yes to all that stuff you was talking about and was doing everything you wanted, she was really just giving you lip service. She didn't really believe none of it, Brennan. So it ain't going backwards. It's really just the beginning, because the last beginning you think was the beginning wasn't really the beginning. He said he don't want to dwell in the past. He act like he's some type of judge. I made my ruling. I decided what I want. Why are we going backwards? I ain't changing my mind. You know why you going backwards? Because she done changed her mind. Dr. Pia tried to tell him, say, listen, she can change her mind. She can change her mind. Brennan act like it was Dr. Pia that was making Emily have her thoughts. Nah, Dr. Pia was bringing out her thoughts, Brennan. She wasn't putting the thoughts in her head. She was bringing them out. Now Brennan said he pissed. He's pissed because you told me one thing. Now you sitting up here telling me something different. You need to stick to your word. You need to say what you mean. You need to honor your word and do what you're going to say. Because I'm tired of being with people like my daddy who tell me they're going to do one thing and they don't, and then next thing you know, they get drunk and then they don't do what they say they're going to do. I tell you, Emily be triggering them. I'm tired of you be saying one thing, but then you get drunk and you can't remember what you said. And the next thing you know, you talking about something different. This is triggering me. It's reminding me of my childhood. Emily keeps telling you, I just be saying yes to keep the peace in the house because I don't want no violence. Kind of like your childhood, Brennan, I bet. Your mama was just trying to keep the peace. That's Emily. I don't want nothing to happen in this house. I don't want you throwing no dishes. I don't want you stomping your feet. I don't want you screaming and yelling. So I just tell you what you want to hear like I normally do with my daddy. And then I go off in the corner and cry and brood and get mad over it because I really don't want to do it. These two, This psychological crap that's going on with these two. Can we have an intervention? Can we have an intervention, please? And Brennan's so lost. He's like, yeah, you know, Emily can speak up anytime she wants to. She can speak up. I'm not holding her back. In fact, she told me one time that she spoke up with something because she said she was scared to tell me, and she was surprised that my reaction wasn't so bad. Brennan, you just told on yourself. You just told on yourself. You basically just told the story that Emily has confessed to you, and you knew it, that she's sometimes afraid to tell you what she's really thinking because she's afraid of your reaction. But you use this as your proof that she can speak and say whatever she wants to. Boy, you so lost in the sauce. You are so lost. Dr. P was talking about, Brennan, do you trust Emily? Do you trust Emily? And Emily's like, how could I have ever broken my trust? What did I do? You broke your trust, Emily, probably because when you was drinking and you promised one thing, and then after you got sober, you went back on your word, and that triggered Brennan, because that's what Brennan is used to. People not keeping their word, okay? People saying one thing when they sober, then getting drunk, and then not following through. Right? He used to women in the house not having no voice, not speaking up, because if the woman speaks up, then all hell breaks loose in the house, and then he got to leave the house and grow up real fast and go over to his friend's house, because over at his friend's house is nice and peaceful and calm, but in his house is craziness and wildness, and dishes is flying everywhere. Brennan said, we need to rebuild trust. When we come up with a plan, we need to stick to the plan. What? So nobody can ever change their mind, Brennan? No, we need to stick to the plan. I need stability. I need to be able to trust someone. How the hell are we talking about trusting Emily? This don't have nothing to do with trusting Emily. This, like I keep saying, go back to that damn daddy. At this point in time, these two don't need no more sex counseling. None of these couples need no more sex counseling. They need mental health counseling, period, point blank. Where is that expert? Where is that expert? Because Mr. Calvin ain't good no more in the religious category. Dr. Pia, we don't need to be talking about sex no more, Dr. Pia. Forget about it. And what does Dr. Pepper do? What's her specialty? I don't know. We need a psychotherapist up in here. We need a hypnotist. Let's put these people under. Let's put them under, so we can ask them some questions and go back to their childhoods and really figure out what's going on. Because a bunch of people on this show is triggered. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Be sure to come back tomorrow, because I'm going to do a video on the after party. I just didn't have time to cover it here right now. But there was a lot going on. And like I said, Emily darn near wanted to smack Keisha Knight Pulliam. So we're going to have to talk about that. That's it, y'all. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.